All right, boys and girls, we are learning about the next type of transformation, rigid transformation, which is also known as reflection. Now, reflection is it's very easy, it's as easy as translation, but unfortunately this this curriculum assumes that you have all the baseline information. But all right, well, enough talk, let's take a look at this. And you guys don't, because this is the stuff that you guys learned in 8th grade, okay? So how does reflection work? First, look at the question, right? It says reflect off the x-axis. Well, step one, you have to know which axis they're even talking about, right? So the x-axis is right here. So I'm gonna highlight this for you so that you could see. All right, great, that's the x-axis. Now, the steps are easy. If they want this to be reflected off of this, and like this is your mirror, what you do is you just simply count towards the mirror. So this is 1 unit away, and then you count, basically repeat it but backwards. So y prime here would be 1 unit away this way, okay? So let's look at x. X is here, it's 1, 2 units towards the mirror, so it's 1, 2 units away from the mirror, and that's what x prime is supposed to be. L is 1, 2, 3 units away, so it's 1, 2, 3 units away this way, okay? That's L prime, and T is 1, 2, 3, so it's 1, 2, 3, and that's where T prime is. And once you're there, I'll grab my ruler. You connect the dots, and there we go. This is how we actually do some reflection of a image, okay? And you know you're correct when you finish, and this image looks exactly like this image, right? It's symmetrical almost. You could see it's symmetrical. Yeah, it has to be exactly symmetrical, okay? So that's how you would reflect off the x-axis. Let's take a look at this. How do you reflect off of the y-axis? Well, it's literally the same thing. Take your highlighter, if you have one, reflect off the y-axis. This is the y, right? So now that you know that that's what you're counting towards, make it a no, right? C means C is 1 unit away, so you go 1 unit away. That's C prime. Great. J is 1, 2, 3, so it's 1, 2, 3. That's J prime. And finally, T is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's T prime right there. And then you connect the dots. And then here we go. Notice how you have this shape perfectly reflected, okay? Now sometimes reflections can be overlapping, right? And so I want to show you something like this one where it's going to overlap, but that's perfectly fine. As long as you have the fundamentals, it makes sense, right? So reflect off the y-axis in this case. So the y-axis is top and bottom. That's okay. So let's start with Q. Q is 1 unit away, so you go 1 unit away, Q prime. T is 1, 2, 3, 4, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where T prime is. G is 1, 2, 3, so you go 1, 2, 3. G prime. And finally, L is 1, 2, so you go 1, 2. Okay? L prime. And then let's connect the dots. Let's see what we get. We do get a reflection, but there's going to be some overlap, and that's perfectly fine. But it actually makes for really interesting and pictures, you know. So here we go. Bam. Notice how it's overlapping, but it is also reflecting off of the y-axis. So that's that. Now here's the other. Let's see. Well, we'll check. We'll look at this on the next video.